Vermilion. The Spot, Winnie Mays, is proud to support programming on Coyote News. The Spot, Winnie Mays, providing salon and spa services for men, women, and children.
Coming up on Coyote News, the movie theater is making a big change to their concession menu.
Also, an artist leaves his mark on USD. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Hello, I'm Cassidy Cornell.
And I'm Nathan Finster. We'll get to those stories and more, but first...
This just in, President Trump announced White House Deputy Chief of Staff Kirstjen Nielsen to be the new Secretary of Homeland Security. If confirmed, Nielsen would replace White House Chief of Staff John Kelly. The Boy Scouts of America are making two large changes to their organization. Membership is now open to transgender boys and to girls. Both girls and transgender boys can now join the Cub Scout program and work their way up to Eagle Scout, which is the highest rank. The Utah police detective who was filmed forcefully handcuffing a nurse has been fired. Detective Jeff Payne arrested nurse Alex Webbles after she refused to let police draw blood from an unconscious patient. The incident, which happened in July, went viral last month when body cam video was released. A red flag warning is in effect in Northern California due to very high fire danger. The area, which is still dealing with devastating wildfires, has a forecast of high wind gusts and low humidity in the upcoming days. These conditions could make the fires worse, as well as start new ones. And those are your headlines. And now let's take a look at our weather with Devin Martin. Devin?
Thanks, Cassidy. With rain being in much the forecast last week, it looks like the remainder of this week will be sunny, whereas this weekend will bring showers that last week brought. And this morning brought widespread frost, and those cold temperatures carried over into today with a high current of 61 degrees with some southeast winds present from 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with a low around 44. For Thursday, it'll be sunny with a high of 69 with some south wind ranging from 10 to 15 miles per hour. And for Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with a low around 47. Friday, however, you'll want to make sure to carry your windbreakers and umbrellas just in case, because there will be a 20% chance of rain and with a high near 60. The rain will stop around the evening, bringing a temperature of 42 degrees. However, it'll be mostly cloudy, and the rain will pick up around Saturday, bringing a 70% chance of rain with a high near 56. That night, the low will reach around 43. For Sunday, the rain will continue with a 40% chance of rain and a high near 56 and a low reaching around 40. For the start of next week, Monday will be sunny, bringing a high near 66 and a low near 45, while Tuesday will be sunny with a high near 69. Also, for your weather fun fact this week, there's a cold front starting to work itself down past Washington, so it is only a matter of time before I start just reporting snow in the forecast. And that's your Coyote weather.
Thanks, Devin. Coming up, we show you how USD alumni celebrated Dakota Days.
This is Coyote News.
Did you know that the Wellness Center Rockwall has over 4,000 hold combinations and 9 rope stations? Going to climb at the Rockwall can be a safe and fun activity. The staff can help you get fitted in a harness, teach you how to climb, and certify you to belay if you don't already know how to.
People should join Climb USD, come to the Rockwall in particular, just because it's a really great physical thing to do. It pushes your physical limits as well as it's somewhat of a mental puzzle as you progress.
Whether you have climbed before or have never been in a harness, the Rockwall is open to all experience levels. It's one of the many alternative workout options that the Wellness Center has to offer. If you are looking to climb during the week, they are open Monday through Thursday, 4 to 10 p.m., and Friday, 3 to 9 p.m.
Red is the color that many students see on campus every day. However, one person is looking to add some more red, but in an artistic way.
Last Friday, the Painting Vermilion Red art exhibit in the Fine Arts Building held its closing reception. The art exhibit began its run 2 months ago. The Fine Arts Building sees many pieces of art go through the gallery throughout the year. However, this particular art exhibit was created by an up-and-coming painter, J. Stephen Manolis. Manolis is a USD alumnus who has paintings across the nation. His work focuses on abstract expressionism. During the closing reception, Manolis gave a tour of the art exhibit and explained his artworks. He says these paintings were motivated by his own emotions.
The inspiration for these paintings are my inner feelings, and I paint about 15 different series of works, but in this show I premiered 3, Red World, Black and White, and Purple Field.
Manolis also donated several paintings to USD, which are valued at $555,000. He hopes that these paintings inspire students to pursue their dreams and goals.
The gift that I'm trying to give to students at the University of South Dakota is that enrolling in this school is an opportunity, perhaps even an obligation, to be true to oneself, to take control of your life, to pursue excellence, and to achieve the best that one can achieve, and to find oneself.
For Coyote News, I'm Nathan Finster.
Didn't get a chance to see the art exhibit? The paintings Manola donated are located in the Muck, the Fine Arts Building, and Beacom.
D-Days isn't just about football, it's also a time to honor outstanding alumni, as Coyote News' Chance Molinix reports.
Notable alumni attended the Unleash Your Legacy event, including Governor Dennis Dugard. SGA President Teague McNary introduced the ceremony where 4 USD graduates were recognized for their achievements, including the Honorable David Gienip for his public service. Lucas Lund, the president of the Student Alumni Association, said that the alumni awarded represent the essence of USD.
We always link legacy with USD. Legacy is a very important part of attending USD. And what these alumni have done, these 4 gentlemen, have really exemplified the idea of contributing to the USD, the rich USD legacy.
The ceremony was bittersweet for some, as the awards were the last for USD President James Abbott, who is retiring at the end of the school year.
And I can look back and say that there was one phenomenal right decision that was made while I was on the Board of Regents, and that was picking James Abbott as president of the University of South Dakota.
For Coyote News, I'm Chance Molinix.
Nearly 300 alumni and friends attended the event.
Still to come, we tell you USD's policy on protests and athletics.
Your fire attack, your fire attack. 1926.
This is Coyote News.
The USD Music Department's holding their Fall Choral Showcase on Sunday. Choral director David Holdhusen says the showcase is exciting because it's the first chance each year for the 3 choirs to perform for an audience. The concert features the men's and women's chorus, the concert choir, and the chamber singers. The concert begins at 3 in Alf's Auditorium and is free and open to the public.
The Coyote Twin Theater is now offering alcoholic beverages for the last show every night. Even though the theater has owned the license for alcohol sales for some time, they started serving drinks just 2 weeks ago.
Selling alcohol is something you have to be very careful with. You want to make sure the police are comfortable with how you're operating. So we've started out small, but we offer beer and wine for the late show every evening throughout the week.
Thiel says that moviegoers are excited to see the beverages, but haven't gotten used to it yet.
We went and checked out a couple of our programs down in Omaha, so the Alamo Theaters in Omaha, as well as Film Streams, and they both offer a more mature environment, challenging movies, but then they also offer beer and wine and some food.
Thiel wants the theater to keep moving forward with unique opportunities in addition to the usual movie theater concessions. The Coyote Twin Theater is open every Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 11.
What do you wish for people to associate with you when they think of your name? Tonight, students can learn how to create a positive brand for themselves. Coyote News' Rachel Newville is live in the muck with Dr. Carl Cunningham, who wants people to understand how their brand is perceived.
Thanks, Cassidy. I'm here in the muck with Dr. Cunningham, who's visiting USD for the CDC's male empowerment events. So, could you tell me a little bit about what these events are all entailing this week?
Absolutely. First, I'd like to thank the university for inviting me. And these programs are here to enhance the male students here on campus, as well as the total student population, and understanding branding, and also understanding the importance of presentation as students complete their higher education and move on to the workforce. What does that look like? What do you need to do to prepare yourselves as you matriculate through your institution and prepare for the workforce?
So today you guys were talking about personal branding. What are some of your best tips for personal branding?
Best tips: watch your social media. Make sure the presentation that you are presenting is one that you want the public to see. Make sure you always look your best. Presentation is everything. And whatever you put out there, make sure that is the honest truth of who you are.
Great. So what can they look forward to in the coming events for this week?
Yes, we have some more events for today and tonight. I'll have a presentation at 6 p.m. and one at 7:30, and our last one will be a truly male empowerment program where we just talk about male issues and how to become better men.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can find more information about the male empowerment events on the USD website or on the Yote Life app. Live in the muck for Coyote News, I'm Rachel Newville.
Thanks, Rachel. It seems the entire country has an opinion on whether or not it's okay to kneel during the national anthem. Coyote News' Louisa Hansen found out what USD policy is when it comes to protesting during the national anthem.
In light of the recent NFL kneeling controversy, the question has been raised about USD's policies in regards to protesting during the national anthem.
The university or the athletic department doesn't have a particular policy on kneeling during the national anthem. I think certainly as a campus, free speech campus, that create a policy against them doing that. I think, if anything, the creating and allowing the students to express themselves is one of our fundamental freedoms.
While there is no policy in place against protesting during the national anthem, Herbster says it has generated a conversation between players and coaches.
Helping them through the process, certainly by kneeling during the game, during the national anthem, want them to be aware of what not only all the repercussions could be from the media, but also make sure they've thought through this decision fairly carefully.
Herbster says that so far this football season, there have been no protests during the national anthem. For Coyote News, I'm Louisa Hansen.
The national anthem is played before USD sporting events.
Well, Devin, the 101st Dakota Days game was sure one for the books.
It really was. We have highlights of that thrilling D-Days win over Youngstown State, as well as a story on a new athletic training technique that they're trying out here at USD. That and more next in sports.
This is Coyote News.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, the football team wins a thriller, and we talk to a men's basketball coach. But first, the headlines with Devin Martin. Devin?
Thanks, Devin. The United States men's national soccer team has failed to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 1986, after losing to Trinidad and Tobago 2-1 last night. Soccer fans across the nation are calling it the darkest moment in U.S. soccer history. The Boston Red Sox fired manager John Farrell today, just 48 hours after being eliminated in the American League Divisional Series for the second consecutive year. Farrell led the Red Sox to a World Series title in 2013 and had a 432 and 378 record in 5 seasons as the team's skipper. The Vegas Golden Knights became the first NHL expansion team to start 3-0 with a 5-2 victory over the Arizona Coyotes last night. However, that wasn't the biggest story of the game. It was their first ever home game, but it was also the first since the shooting massacre in Las Vegas last week. Every player stood next to the first responder to the attack as they honored all 58 victims with their names illuminated in gold on the white ice during 58 seconds of silence before the game. And those are your headlines.
Thanks, Devin. USD is off to their best start in the Division I era, but they'd face their toughest test so far this season as they welcomed third-ranked Youngstown State to town for the 101st Dakota Days game. Youngstown State would take the early lead, 7-0 lead, but the Coyotes would come right back. Chris Strevler finds Randy Baker with the back shoulder fade in the end zone, tying the score at 7 apiece. Early in the second quarter, Coyotes facing 4th and goal from the half-yard line. Kai Henry plows his way into the end zone for a TD, giving USD a 14-7 lead. YSU would tie the game, but on the ensuing Coyote drive, Strevler lofts one up for Brant Van Rukel, who makes the catch. The 22-yard score puts the Yotes back on top 21-14. On USD's first drive of the second half, Strevler finds a wide-open Shamar Jackson, who breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races. 71 yards to the house, and the Coyotes take a 28-14 lead. Youngstown would come back and score the next 14 straight points to tie the game, but they left just enough time on the clock for Ryan Weiss to nail a 29-yard field goal with just 7 seconds left, and USD wins a thriller 31-28. The Coyotes go to 5-0 on the season, and they've moved up to number 4 in the FCS coaches poll. Here's kicker Ryan Weiss talking about his game-winning kick.
It was just kind of an exciting feeling of just kind of the whole, my whole college career of never, really getting my opportunity, and now finally getting the opportunity here and just making the most of it really meant a lot to me.
The Coyotes host Indiana State Saturday afternoon. Moving over to basketball, Coyote News' Lauren Solik is live in the muck with assistant men's basketball coach Eric Peterson to talk about recruitment and the upcoming season. Lauren?
Thanks, Devin. The men's basketball team started practice on September 30th. I'm here with assistant coach Peterson to talk about that. So going back a little, what did you have to do to prepare during off-season?
Yeah, we've been working out. In our off-season, we get about 8 hours a week, 2 hours on the floor, and a lot of it's just getting our guys in the weight room and getting them bigger, faster, stronger to help with the long season that we have coming up.
Okay, and now that practices have started, what is the team kind of striving for this season?
Yeah, we have a chip on our shoulder a little bit with what happened last year. We lost to South Dakota State in the semifinal game of the conference tournament, in a game that we felt like we should have won and lost by a point. So our guys have that kind of in the back of their head, and our goal is to win a conference championship. Our goal is to make it to the NCAA tournament, and we know it's going to be one game at a time to get there. So we just have to keep practicing hard, keep getting better every single day, and see where it takes us.
And what did the recruiting season look like for you? Yeah,
we brought in 4 new recruits for this year, and this fall we've been recruiting literally all around the world with 3 assistants on the road and our head coach. So we have 2 commitments so far. We can't really talk about them on camera, but we really like where our recruits are at right now, and we have 1 more left to get, and we have a good plan for that too. So.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
On November 4th, the Coyotes will host Sioux Falls in an exhibition game, and the regular season begins on November 11th against Mayfield State in the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. Live from the muck for Coyote News, I'm Lauren Solik.
Thanks, Lauren. USD's strength staff has recently been certified in a painful but beneficial technique to help prepare athletes for optimal performance. Coyote News' Taylor Kidd has the story.
It's been called the biggest secret in sports performance today, and USD has caught the word before any other team in the Missouri Valley Conference.
So Reflexive Performance Reset, RPR, is basically a neurological response to reflexive therapy. Basically what it's doing is your body will compensate no matter what. So it's helping your body move in a more efficient manner, allowing your body to use the muscles it's supposed to use. Maybe you're compensating for your hip because your hamstring's not doing the job. Well, when you turn the hamstring on or activate the hamstring, then your hamstring's doing what it's supposed to be doing so your hip can do what it's supposed to do.
Although the end result of a reset has proven to be very beneficial, it's not the most comfortable feeling. Tickling and pain are often mixed, and sweating is not an uncommon reaction. Some athletes will even experience an emotional response due to release of stress, resulting in crying. Sophomore basketball player Taylor Frederick gets a full reset once a week, although she says her pain tolerance is pretty low.
For me, it kind of hurts a little bit, but I mean, I can tell the effects after I get it done, but other people on the team can handle it really well. I'm just not one of those people, but in the end it helps.
Bowman says the strength staff currently performs resets on members of men's and women's basketball, soccer, volleyball, football, and swimming and diving, and the overall responses from these athletes are always positive.
At the end of it, they thank you. They say they feel lighter, they are more flexible, they feel like they're walking normal with a little bit more pep in their step. Our goal is to just provide this tool that we do have, no different than we have recovery boots or Theraguns or whatever it is. We just have reflexive therapy that we can do on our athletes now that gives us a slight edge on everybody else.
For the Sports Report, I'm Taylor Kidd.
For more information on the technique, visit reflexiveperformance.com. The men's golf team took third this week at the Bill Ross Intercollegiate. Sophomore Matt Tolan entered the first round in first place, but finished second with a final round score of 76. Jacob Michael tied for 8th, and Tommy Vining jumped 14 spots on the leaderboard after shooting a final round 73 to tie for 16th. Scott Fudenberg finished 24th, and Tate Aarons took 46th. The Coyotes have one meet remaining for the fall season. They travel to Stockton, California for a 3-day invite beginning October 26th. Over to women's golf, the Coyotes took 4th at the Drake Bulldog Invitational, which was cut short due to inclement weather. Junior Lexi Peterson had her best career finish, tying for 3rd place. Jennifer Vincent placed 13th with a tournament score of 160. Abby Dufresne tied for 20th. Sunny Killian finished in a tie for 23rd. And the final point scorer for the Coyotes was Carly Kerrigan, coming in at 37th. That concludes the fall season for the Coyote women. They resume tournament play in the spring. 6 USD athletes took home weekly awards this week. In football, defensive end Darren Greenfield earned Missouri Valley Defensive Player of the Week, and kicker Ryan Weiss earned Special Teams Player of the Week for their efforts in the Coyotes' win against Youngstown State. In volleyball, Haley Dotsith was named the Summit League Offensive Player of the Week, while Ann Rasmussen earned Defensive Player of the Week. It was the first weekly honor for Dotsith and the 3rd consecutive for Rasmussen. And in swimming and diving, sophomore Sabrina Sabadiano earned Summit League Swimmer of the Week, and junior Sarah Shank was named Conference Diver Player of the Week. They both earned weekly honors for the first time. That's a look at sports. Coming up after the break, we asked students about the shows Netflix is removing. Their answers are next.
Greetings. Welcome to the CDC, the Center for Community and Diversity, where diversity and community meets the University of South Dakota mission.
Cater to empowering and enriching the students' lives to ensure that they can obtain the quintessential tools to be able to navigate society.
Fostering is when you take in an animal into your home and you take care of them until we can find them a permanent forever home.
If you can find it in your heart to do it, it's rewarding.
We do all the vetting, the neutering, the spaying, the medications.
The Humane Society has lots and lots of great dogs and cats that can pull at your heartstrings and make you realize you got a little more to give.
This is Coyote News.
Midterms are ending, so students will have more time to watch Netflix. But some of their favorite shows may be gone in this week's Out and About, we asked students which of their favorite titles got taken down.
One of the shows I've noticed that I really liked that left Netflix, I think it was last year, was House. I really liked those genres, and House was particularly great, and so I was kind of sad to see that leave.
I'm not really upset about any of them leaving. As long as Grey's Anatomy stays on, I'm good. One Tree Hill. That's my favorite. It's my go-to. Probably One Tree Hill. One Tree Hill. I'm upset about One Tree Hill leaving. One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill, hands down. Watched every episode twice, so I'm all about that show.
No. Right now I'm watching the 100, and that's staying for a good while, so I'm happy.
The Disney movies. Like, I know those are like going to like a different platform or something like that, so I'm a little upset about that one.
I do not have Netflix. Love Actually, the movie.
I don't think I personally watch Netflix enough to actually understand which shows are leaving and going. I'll just watch certain episodes here and there. So no, not necessarily. There's nothing that I miss.
I'm actually not upset about any shows leaving. I mostly just watch The Office.
Pick up a new issue of The Volante out today, featuring a story about a housing development in Vermilion that is selling developments 2 times higher than the average rate.
That's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
And be sure to listen for KYOT and KOR Coyote Radio daily updates throughout the week.
Thank you and have a great night.